Number 1. A Friend Killer. Mark Denclaw is a former gang leader who was accused of kidnapping, hurting, and killing a former member of his gang. What the police didn't realize was that Mark had a plan to outsmart them as well. In July 2015, they discovered the body of Robert Huggins, who had been severely beaten with a broken skull, cuts on his chest, and his nipples missing. Robert had been kicked out of the Gypsy Joker Motorcycle Club just a few days before. Eventually, Mark was identified as the main suspect and was brought in for questioning by the police.
Mark?
Yep.
My name's Scott Curtis with the Clark County Sheriff's Office.
All right. What's your name?
Kevin. Harper.
Kevin?
Also with Clark County.
What's going on, fellas?
Well, obviously we're not from Portland. A couple things we need to do before we chat, and then we'll explain everything. You're with a motorcycle club. You have some affiliation with one, is that right?
I don't have any answers for questions like that.
Okay. Well, the reason I'm asking is that a few months back, a gentleman named Jeff Sudan, you know him? He threw your name out in conjunction with kind of a repossession of a car, or a collection of a car. Does that sound familiar to you?
No. Jeff Sudan almost might. I'm not sure about that. It seems like Sudan rings a bell somewhere, but no, collections of a car. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
But where do you live, sir?
Down by Salem.
Okay. What's your address?
You answer. It's on my driver's license. It's
I don't have your driver's license. And you're living with a gal down there, is that right?
No, I kicked her out.
Oh,
she comes and stays. She stays, but she can only stay for 3 days at a time. She's kind of a transient.
Huh. Okay.
I took her off the lease, and the people that I rent the house from said she can only stay for 3 days at a time. So if somebody looks in the house, they'll see all her stuff in the bags and stuff all piled there on the floor.
When did you kick her out?
Which time? I kicked her out a lot of times.
Numerous times?
Yeah, she just calls me, and she's with no place to go and stuff, and get tugs on the heartstrings, and I pick her up and let her stay for a little while again. It's a love-hate thing.
Okay.
So how long did she stay there before the in and out started?
She was there from the time I moved in until, well, I mean, not steady. She's never been steady there. She's always gets kicked out or moves out and goes and stays with somebody else for a while. She's kind of transients around.
And what's her name?
Nicole.
Okay. So this last time, how long was she?
So there's my background. That's it on Nicole. What else you want to know?
Okay.
Is Nicole the problem here? I mean, I know that she's had the cops over a few times.
Okay.
And she's had problems with the hospital and her.
Tell me about the hospital.
Well, if you don't know about it, then that's not what you're talking to me about. Do you know what I'm talking about? Is that what this is about?
No.
Is it about the other night?
It does involve Nicole. So
Okay.
I don't know what the hospital thing is, so if that's not part of Nicole's issues, then
Okay.
so Nicole had let me back up a little bit. How long have you been in a relationship?
I'm not going to answer any more questions about Nicole.
Okay.
I don't have any more answers for you until I find out what you're talking about.
Okay, well,
you guys brought me in. I didn't bring you in. I want to hear what you got to talk about.
Well, I'm trying to get to that, but part of that's going to involve how long you've known Nicole.
Well, if you don't want to tell me what the heck I'm doing here, say so. Because I'm not going to sit here and give you a bunch of my background so you can play whatever kind of game you're playing. This is kind of stupid, man. I just got picked up and treated pretty roughly. You can still see the marks on my hands. This one was completely asleep all the way here and thrown in a complete silent room there. I want to know what the heck's going on, man.
Okay. Did you know Nicole back in October?
October of this year?
Last year. 2015.
Well, yeah.
Okay. You guys were living together off and on.
I told you I'm not going to answer any more questions about Nicole until I find out what this is about. Is this a domestic thing? And if so, what am I doing in Portland?
Well, it's kind of a domestic thing. Nicole took off in a car that she may have had purchased with assets that belonged to you or something like that. And then Jeff Sudan and a couple other guys kind of returned that car to you. Does that make sense to you? Is that
Or attempted to?
Hell no.
Okay.
You guys are
so why would they throw?
Well, I'm not going to answer your questions, but without a lawyer anyway. But just because I don't like the reaction. But You guys are way off, man.
Okay.
You guys don't know. I don't know who's telling you these stories, and I'm not sure who Jeff Sudan is, but I can tell you right now, nobody's ever returned a car to me from anybody ever in my life.
So if we got the story wrong, can you help us out with that?
Well, I'm not going to straighten your story out. No, I'm not. Not until I find out why I'm sitting here.
Okay.
I don't understand. This is about Nicole stealing a car and somebody.
No, not stealing necessarily. But
why are you playing games? Tell me what you're talking about.
I'm not trying to play games, but I'm trying to get at the root of what caused this whole thing.
Mark told the police that he would only answer the questions he liked during the interrogation. He decided not to have a lawyer with him and went on to face the interrogation all by himself.
I'm looking for the crime is what I'm looking for. What fucking car are you talking about, man?
I think it was an Acura. Does that sound
okay? Well, what about it?
Okay. She took off in an Acura.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
You're wrong. I'm not gonna tell you the story because it's a personal story and there's no crime that I'm not going to press charges about anything.
Okay.
And I would be the only, in the story that you're talking about, there's only one person in the world that could press any charges about it, and that'd be me.
Okay.
And I'm not pressing any charges on her.
All right.
And nobody returned any car, and she never took any car from anywhere, so you got the story completely wrong first.
Okay.
So before you come talk to me about those kind of stories, you should get them right.
Okay.
Get them straight, man.
How would I get them right without chatting with you?
Well, because I'm not here to give you information. That's not what I'm about. I'm not a cop. I'm not going to sit here and feed you information. I don't know. I'm here for some reason. I don't know what your deal is, but you haven't explained that to me yet. Until then, I got no more answers for you about Nicole or cars or anything else. I don't even know what the hell. Why wouldn't if this has to do with that car? Why in the heck am I not the one pressing the charges? I didn't do anything wrong.
Okay, well, I see your point.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty good point. Yeah.
Okay. How far back do you want to?
Let's go back. So you don't know Jeff? You said you don't know Jeff?
Don't know Jeff Sudan, no.
Would you maybe recognize a picture of him?
Well, you know what? Anybody that you're going to show me, you'd have a lot better chance showing me a picture than giving me, because I do not know people's names.
Okay. Does that look familiar to you, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What do you know that guy by?
I'm not going to answer your questions. I told you. I'll listen to what you have to say, and I'll pick what I want to answer, but I'm not going to tell you information about people I know. I'm not a cop.
Okay. Well, that's a picture of Jeff Sudan.
Oh, okay. I did not know that was that guy's name.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I'm starting to put it together. Okay. Now I kind of know.
Would you tell me how you know that man? Or
no, I'm not going to give you that information. But I kind of know what we're talking about here. But I thought that those charges were dropped on him and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, he was with another gentleman too, right?
When this thing happened, that's what I heard. I wasn't there.
No, I know you weren't there.
Oh, okay.
But you know some of the background.
Well, I might know some of the background, but like I said, I'm not here to try to answer your questions. You're going to have to get the answers. Why can't you? All these answers you should be able to get from that guy. Some of them. I don't know him very well, by the way. But I don't know him very well, but I know exactly who he is. And but I don't have the answers for you as far as that stuff goes.
Okay. You know what I mean? Well, a few months before this car thing happened, Nicole was at your house, and somebody busted in the house and roughed her up a little bit, tied her up. You remember that?
I can't really answer to that. You're going to have to get that story from her.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to answer to that but I can tell you once again, and you're going to find out that you are completely wrong.
Okay.
So that didn't happen?
What's that? I'm not going to go there. I'm going to let
you're saying we're wrong.
You got the story all wrong.
Okay.
You got the story all wrong. Okay. And if you ask around about Nicole, you're probably going to find that you got a whole bunch of stories wrong, man.
Okay.
But I'm not going to sit here and slam on Nicole, and I'm not going to sit here and tell stories about her or anybody else.
Would you tell me what we got wrong about that
never happened. That's not what happened. I'll tell you that. I'll say that is not what happened. Okay. Nobody actually came to the house.
Okay.
All right.
What did happen?
I'm not going to tell you. Okay. I'm not going to let her tell you. I'm not Mr. Rat who's going to sit here and tell Nicole's life story to anybody.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If she wants to tell you that what happened, she will. And anything about what you took the car and the whole thing you're talking about, ask her. Ask her. It's not my story. It's hers.
Okay.
Like in many similar cases, Mark hasn't been informed why he was brought in for questioning. However, he should have figured it out because after Robert was expelled from the gang, he broke into Mark's house. He tied up Nicole, threatened her, and stole many guns as a revenge. Despite this, Mark still refused to answer any questions and appeared oblivious to the fact why he was being questioned in the first place.
Who did you tell about what did happen then?
Oh, God, tons of people, man.
Okay, you give me some examples.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to sit here and name names for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you think I am, you're just barking up the wrong tree.
Okay.
You really are. But I'll tell you what, I don't really understand why this stuff that you're talking about with this dude and the car stuff, why would that get handcuffs put on me?
Well,
why would those handcuffs go on me? What did I do that was illegal in any of that stuff? What did I even have to do with it? I wasn't even there for any of it. None of it. Okay. Not anything that you've talked about so far. I was a long way away from it. Mm-hmm. So why would I get handcuffs put around my fucking wrist for it?
Well, where were you when that happened?
Well, man, I know where you're talking about. I wasn't there involved in anything that happened if there was a story made up about this theft thing or whatever. Mm-hmm. If that's the story that you're talking about, and the car thing about the whole fucking car deal, mm-hmm. I wasn't there. I wasn't involved in it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I'm not going to tell you the story about it. You can get that from other people who like to tell stories.
Some of it we have.
I'm not going to.
So back in the middle of June, do you recall getting called by a FedEx guy from your house?
Yes, I know about the FedEx guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so tell me about that.
Man, I shouldn't even fucking... I'm not trying to... I'm not going to try to do anything that's going to get Nicole in any kind of trouble, man, because I'm not here to try to get her in trouble, all right? Mm-hmm. If that's what this is all about. And I don't really understand, but I'll tell you one thing. You know what? If you want to hear this story from me, you get Nicole here too. Both of us in the same room.
It doesn't work that way.
Well, that's the only way.
That's not going to happen.
Because I'm not going to tell behind her back what this. I'd love to tell you the truth, but I don't want to do it behind her back. It's against my personal rules. I'm not going to sit here and talk to cops about anybody behind their back. But I would like to have her here so me and her could. So we can.
I'm a little bit confused too.
Look, Nicole, tell them this and tell them that. I would do that in front of her to try to get this straightened out because I don't. You guys are just got the story is so fucked up. And if you really knew what the deal was, well, like I said, if you really knew what the deal was, you might. I don't know if you'd arrest Nicole or not, but I'm not going to get her arrested. I'm not pressing no charges on her for anything that happened then. If that's what the deal is.
I guess I'm a little bit confused because when Nicole, you're saying it's a story. When Nicole says that basically there's a robbery at your house and there's an incident, the FedEx guy calls you, lets you know this story, why would she be in trouble? You're saying you don't want to get her in trouble. Why would she be in trouble for that? That's what I'm missing.
Because okay. All right, man. I wish Nicole was here. I feel like a piece of shit for even talking shit behind her back. Nicole set that whole fucking thing up. That was her and her friend. They fucking zip tied her. They knew the fucking guy was coming. That was a setup. She robbed me. She even brought the stuff that was robbed. She brought a bunch of it back. Man, that's her and her friends. If you want to know the fucking truth, I've been robbed by the girl so many fucking times you couldn't even count it.
Really?
And that whole robbery right there, that stuff, everything she stole from me then that she brought back everything she couldn't sell on offer up, her and her fucking junkie friends. And that's what fucking happened there, man. It was a total lie. I know it was for a fact. She, like I said, her mom knows. She told her mom what all fucking kind of stuff was stolen in this big robbery, and then her mom comes over when I was throwing her out, and her mom starts looking at all the stuff and goes, "Oh shit, here's something, this was stolen." Well, half the stuff she told her, anything her and her friends couldn't sell on the fucking offer up, she brought back after she wanted to be back with me and stuff.
What items did she take or try?
I'm not going to sit here and lay out a big old thing for you. Ask her if you can get the truth out of her.
Mark navigates easily around the detectives, avoiding giving them a motive for the murder.
I'm not going to be your storyteller, All I can tell you is you're barking up the wrong tree, and I don't even know what the fuck it has to do with you guys if I'm not mad about the shit, If I forgave her for everything that you're talking about, I know about the car. You got the car story completely fucking wrong too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But she was an asshole in that story, and I can't say I forgave her for it, but I sure as hell didn't go press no charges on her, and I was told to at the time. I was told by a lawyer to press charges on her, and I told the lawyer, I said, man, all my life I've been telling people don't use the cops to handle your business. So is this my price? Is this where I go against my judgment and go have her fucking arrested or something like that to get my shit back? In any case, it's my own personal problems. I chose to live with them. I lost a lot because of the girl, you know what I mean? But I'm not pressing the charges, so I don't see why you guys care.
Okay. Who's her junkie friends that were helping her?
I'm not going to tell you names of people. You didn't hear me the first time? I'm not sitting here naming people for you. All I'm doing is telling you you got your stories really screwed up. And I don't even know why you care. Because I sure as hell ain't going to press no charges on her. I'm telling you that. So, if it's about Nicole, and why would I get handcuffed up and brought in like that if you guys are mad because Nicole went and bought a fucking car with my money or whatever the fuck might happen?
Is Bagger Bob part of that? Part of her junkie friends?
Bagger Bob?
Yeah. That ring a bell?
Fuck, you're talking? Yeah, I know who that is. He's fucking the guy that got killed about a fucking year and a half ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was he one of the ones who set this up with Nicole?
Man, you're going to have to, if you're trying to like tie that into this or something like that, you're going to have to talk to Nicole about that.
Okay. Well, I was asking you because you said it was her junkie friends, and I assumed that meant you knew who
No, not the kind of junkie that I heard he was. She's not that kind of a junkie.
Okay. Can you help? What kind of junkie is he?
I don't know. I'm sure you probably know better than I do.
So when you say her junkie friends...
Yeah, I'm not talking about any of our ex-fucking club brothers or anything like that. No.
Okay. All right.
I'm talking about her friends, not my friends.
Got it.
Okay.
So was Bagger Bob one of your friends, not hers?
Yeah, well, like I said, actually, now that fucking you're starting to bring his name into it, and he got killed, now I don't think I have any other questions to answer for you. Now I think having a lawyer here might be a good idea.
Okay. Sorry.
I think that'd be a good idea if you're starting to ask questions about a dead guy.
Luckily for Mark, there's an easy way to obtain all the information he wants. He just needs to hire a lawyer. In criminal cases like this, the police must provide the attorney with all the evidence, whether it suggests the accused is innocent or guilty. Some people mistakenly think that requesting a lawyer means admitting guilt. However, every suspect, regardless of guilt or innocence, has an absolute right to have an attorney. Asking for one at any stage of the investigation is perfectly fine and cannot be held against you in court.
Okay. Well, let me clarify something with you.
Okay.
Do you want us to keep chatting, or do you want to talk to a lawyer? I need to know that.
Well,
if
you want to tell me what I'm doing here and what reason, I may try to help you out with that. But if you're going to keep me in the dark, well, then I got nothing else to say either.
Okay. So I still need to clarify with you that one point, because you mentioned a lawyer, and I need to know if you want a lawyer now or if we can keep chatting. This is what I need to know.
Keep chat. I'll keep listening a little longer before I call in a lawyer. Yeah.
Okay. When the FedEx guy called you, you came down to the house with a friend.
Yeah.
Oh, you went to your house by yourself? Or?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
What did the FedEx guy tell you?
He said fucking, I'm not going to get into the story. I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to talk about it. That's Nicole. Nicole's going to have to tell you that story if you want to hear something from her. If you got her all involved in this.
Well, Mark, let me say this. We have you're saying their stories, so whether they're true or not, that's what we're trying to find out, okay? Right. That's our job.
Okay.
To realize that, right?
Sure.
As cops, so if there's incidents happen, we got to figure out what's true and what's not.
Okay.
And we do that by talking with people.
Okay.
Obviously, that happened a while ago, so we've been working on this for a while. Months.
Okay.
That story starts a much larger story that we have, right? Starts with, at your house, with a theft happening that includes Nicole being there, okay? And there's a FedEx guy calls you,
right?
So this is where everything's...
That's why I wish she was here,
right?
So she could straighten some of this.
So this has been going on for a while. And you keep telling us, talk to Nicole, get the story from her.
Well, if she's the one that's involved in the story, you need to talk to the players. Right. I'm not telling you to talk to her.
I understand.
I'm telling you to talk to whatever players you're talking about in your story there. You talk to them, and whoever you said rode there with me or whatever, talk to them. But you guys have got us also.
So over the last several months, well over half a year, we have talked to a lot of people.
Okay.
And we can tell you right now, Nicole's in front of a grand jury. Okay. There is, you say talk to her, we have. There's a story there.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
So I'm just letting you know that. So we have a story, so we want to get your side of it.
Ah, gotcha, okay.
So we know what's true and what's not true.
All right. Well, what I do expect is for you to tell me where I fit in. What is my crime in these stories that you're talking about? What's my crime? Why the fuck did I get handcuffs put on me? I mean, I can hear you guys wanting to talk about this and that, wanting to get stories straight, but why am I getting treated like this? Why didn't you call me up and ask me to come in and talk? Why did you come and have me?
Would you have come and chatted with us?
I would have came in. I definitely would have came in, but I probably wouldn't have talked to you.
Okay.
And I'm not really talking to you now. I really don't have any answers for your stories. I'm not going to straighten your stories out for you and stuff, especially unless I find out what the hell my part of it is. I'm interested in my own self, you know what I mean? And what do you mean Nicole's in front of a grand jury? What are you talking about? Like right now, she's sitting in front of a grand jury?
That's right.
Oh, wow.
So, shortly
is my dog safe?
No, your dog is safe.
Okay, good. Excellent. That's very important to me. Okay. So, now what?
Mark realizes it's a good moment to request a lawyer, but he chooses not to do so. This might be because he wants to appear somewhat cooperative. Whenever Mark says he doesn't have anything to say, he often ends up sharing a small piece of information with the police. Mark is currently facing a tough decision. He has to decide whether to keep talking to the police to appear more innocent, but risk revealing too much information by mistake, or to completely stop talking and refuse to provide any more information. He can't do both at the same time.
She is indicated that certain things took place after this robbery, theft, whatever it was, the one where the FedEx guy came to the house, and I think he wanted to call the police, and she said, no, please call Mark, and I think is that right?
I'm not going to say whether that's right now, but
is that your understanding?
I'm listening to your story.
Okay. And from there, the series of events unfolded involving one of your club brothers, or former club brothers. Okay. And that's where some of this comes about, and it's up to you to clarify for this what all took place, because there's fingers.
Man, you know what? The story that you're talking about is somebody else's story.
Okay.
You're going to have to talk to somebody else.
Who do you suggest we chat with?
I'm not throwing names. I told you. It's somebody else's story. You're the cop. Figure it out. Talk to somebody else. It's not my story. I'm not.
I think you know that we've got it pretty well figured out. The question is, you're in a bit of a hole. We're trying to offer you a ladder to get out of this hole.
Man,
okay? Because here we've got Nicole sitting in front of a grand jury right now, and she's testifying to them. Okay. We know what she's going to tell them. Okay. We presume. That's not an issue. We have other people we've talked to, and I think you know who most of those people are.
Well, you think wrong, but anyway, okay.
Okay.
There's several others, either now or shortly, are sitting in rooms like you are.
Okay. Okay. Well, tell me something that means something to me. None of this means much to me so far. And Nicole, man, she's got real problems, and her problem is she's sitting in front of a grand jury right now. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure her problems are going to probably unfold in front of them. So in any case, whatever, man. Talk to me about that later after she gets out of the grand jury. You'll see what I'm saying. Nicole's got some serious problems, and she's got some serious lying problems. And if all her lies blow up in her face today, well, it's about time. Maybe that'll help her out a little bit. Maybe this whole experience will help her quit making up bullshit and telling lies. So anyway, that's enough about Nicole for me. You got her in front of a grand jury. You got all the story you need from her. Now, what else would you like from me?
You don't want to give us names, so I'm not sure how we can talk about the folks that you think we should go talk to.
I don't think you should go talk to anybody. I don't care what you do, man. I really do not care what you do. You're not telling me, what am I doing sitting here? You haven't even told me that yet. Why am I here? Because of things that happened to me? I'm here because of stuff that happened to me.
What happened to you? What happened to you?
You guys are telling the stories. You're telling the stories.
We haven't said anything happened to you. What happened to you?
Well, you said I was the one that showed up with somebody else in a car or something like that. When the FedEx man called and stuff. You're telling me the story. Wouldn't that be something that happened to me?
I thought you meant like you committed a crime. Or something.
You are a cop to the bone.
Or a crime happened to you.
You're a cop to the bone. That's funny, man. Yeah. I'm acting like I committed a crime.
I think you misunderstood me, Mark.
Well, I think that
you said something happened to me, a crime.
Check it out. I think that you guys have your stories really screwed up, really confused, and I think that you're going to find that out. You're going to find. I believe if they got
help us help you.
If anybody's got
you with that,
Nicole, if anybody's got Nicole better, you should go maybe watch that little deal and see what you got in front of you there,
well, help us
and
get
maybe
the
you'll
story.
figure out
what
kind of bullshitter you've got and junkie you've got in front of you, and fucking. In the end, then come tell me you got that I did something. I don't even know what you haven't told me that I did anything wrong yet. Do you suspect me of something?
Well, help us get this unconfused.
Because if you suspect me of doing a crime, let me know so I can get a lawyer. You know what I mean?
Okay. I don't think we've accused you of committing a crime.
No, you haven't. And that's why I'm still looking at these marks on my wrists and going, man, what a way to treat somebody who's not suspected of doing a crime.
Okay.
You know?
So help us get this thing unconfused. Because you're saying, go talk to people, but we don't know who to talk to.
Here you go.
Okay.
All right, man. I'm going to help you get unconfused, all right? If you think that I did something wrong, anything, okay, any kind of crime, let me get my lawyer over here, and I will tell my lawyer, you know what? Give these guys a lie detector test. Just take a lie detector test. Don't make these cops suspect the wrong people. So if you guys think I did anything wrong, hit me with a lie detector test or something. I've got nothing to fucking hide.
Mark might not realize that by detaining him, the police are essentially saying they suspect him of committing a crime. In criminal law, being detained means holding someone in custody if there's a good reason to believe they were involved in or are about to be involved in criminal activity. So in a way, the police have directly indicated to Mark that they see him as a potential criminal. It's evident that Mark thinks he understands how the interrogation process works, but he's definitely lacking some important information.
I got nothing to hide, and I just got nothing to say. It's against my fucking nature to sit here and talk to cops. Now, I told you more than I probably wish I would have already, okay? I should have even told you my name. You know what I mean? You got my name. You're playing games. You don't need to know my name. You knew my name before you brought me in here. In any case, if you think I did something, and you really do, if you really think I did something wrong, then you guys maybe think about giving me a lie detector test and lay it out. Lay what you think I did out on a lie detector test. I just want a lawyer there just to make sure that I'm doing the right thing or whatever. But I'm willing to do that just so you guys don't bark up the wrong tree. But I'm not willing to sit here and tell you stories like some piece of shit rat. Okay? You got your world, I got mine. Mm-hmm. In my world, rats are pieces of shit. I'm not going to sit here telling on Nicole. I'm not going to sit here telling on anybody. I'm not going to sit here telling on anybody for anything.
Did she tell you that Bagger was one of the people who came and tied her up?
I'm not going to answer any more questions for you.
Okay. At all, or just about that incident?
I think the truth is, I think I'll just not answer any more at all and have you guys arrest me so I can see what the hell I'm under arrest for if you're not going to tell me. Because I want to know where I fit in. You know, I hear what you're barking at and stuff, and I don't really understand some of the stuff, why in the hell you even care about it, because I'm not going to press no charges on anybody, so I don't even know why you guys even give a shit. But I am interested in what the hell I'm going to get arrested for, so arrest me for it so we can go from there. I'm not going to tell stories about the club and this and that and why, I'm telling you, I've already told you the common stuff. This is what pretty much everybody knows. It ain't hard for you guys to find out that the fucking guy got kicked out of our motorcycle club. Sure. That is not hard to find out.
When's the last time you were actually eyes on with Bagger? Was he a club member then, or was it after? Did he ever flip you off at some stuff?
At the same time he was going. I saw him when he was going out.
Okay.
I saw him go. He was and wasn't at the same time. Okay. The last time I saw him,
that's the last time.
He was until he told him get the fuck out of here, and then he wasn't. So I saw him. He was and wasn't that same day, and that's the last time I've ever seen him.
Okay. Did he ever come by and vandalize anything of yours?
No.
Okay.
Hell no. Bagger
Well, is he a cheap shot guy, or is he someone?
I really don't know. And like I said, I'm not going to answer questions about Bagger.
Okay, but he never did anything to you.
No.
Okay, you never went eyes on with him again after that when he was out of the club.
He respected me, I think, and he talked very nice to me anytime I ever saw him. I'll tell you that. Me and him never had a bad word. In the end, I found out he was a piece of shit junkie.
Right.
So I admit I hold that against him, because I spent a lot of time with the guy and stuff, and kind of gave him my heart, sort of like, and so when people just really disgrace us like that and stuff, it leaves a real bad taste in my mouth. I will admit that. But that's the end of it. When you're done with us, you're just done. So anything that happened to him after that, I have no idea. Like I said, one thing about our motorcycle club is when you're done with us, you're just done with us. We got no time for you. We got no words for you. You won't be getting any more calls. Nothing. You know what I mean? You're done. And he's Bagger, just one of a lot of guys that the same kind of shit happens to. It's part of the life.
Okay.
In the end, Mark and other club members were arrested and accused of murder. The biker club was searched by the police, and they discovered evidence of many years of criminal activities. Nicole and others decided to cooperate with the prosecutors. In return for their testimonies, they were given reduced sentences. Mark was sentenced to life in prison for his part in the crime. Number 2. Jeff the Legend. Jeff Pearson's story stands out because he wasn't a famous rapper. He was a heroin addict. Reports started pouring into the local police department when a 7-Eleven store raised an alarm. However, there was no suspect nearby. The police decided to broaden their search, and they heard a noise coming from a nearby house. With no other leads, they entered the house and found Jeff sitting next to a gun. They arrested Jeff and brought him in for questioning. The next 24 hours were recorded by police cameras in the interrogation room. Interestingly, unlike most such footage, Jeff initially uploaded this recording to his own YouTube channel on September 25, 2011. This is what makes Jeff a notable figure and a legend among those interested in interrogations. Jeff was in police custody for almost a whole day, but the footage from the 3 interrogation sessions only totaled about 15 minutes. In Georgia, where the robbery and arrest took place, the typical minimum sentence for such crimes is around 10 years in prison, going up to a maximum of life without parole. However, Jeff ended up not serving a single minute of this time. Instead of spending decades behind bars, he spent a day being offered drinks and candy while teaching a master class on how to handle being in police custody. The following footage provides a detailed look at the tactics that police might use and how to navigate them effectively. The video begins with Jeff in a small windowless room wearing prison clothes. It's clear he had already gone through some processing and had likely spent time in a cell while the police gathered evidence and prepared to question him.
Am I under arrest?
For now.
I'm under arrest?
Yeah, I'll explain everything, but before I explain myself to you, before we talk to each other, I need to read your rights, okay?
What am I under arrest for?
Well, like I said, I need to read your rights first. Obviously, the charge is robbery, okay? Yeah, I'll explain everything.
I'm under arrest for robbery?
You are, but let me read your rights real quick, okay? And then I'll explain it all to you. Is that okay? You let me do that real fast? All right, Jeff. Can you read with me? Just read in your head, okay? Before we ask you any questions, you must understand what your rights are. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to the lawyer for advice before we question you, and have him or her with you during questioning. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer and you want one, a lawyer will be provided for you. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you'll still have the right to stop answering questions at any time. You also have the right to stop answering at any time that you want until you talk to the lawyer. Does that make sense? You've probably heard these before, haven't you?
Jeff starts by asking if he's under arrest and why. This shows that Jeff has done his homework because this is the right thing to do in such a situation. There are 2 options here. If you're not being arrested or detained, you can say that you're not obliged to answer questions and are free to leave the interrogation. If you are being arrested, you can immediately ask for a lawyer and remain silent until one is provided. These choices give you the best chance of protecting your rights and building a strong defense. Additionally, when you're being arrested in the United States, the officer is actually legally required to remind you of your rights.
Do you understand your rights? Do you understand your rights, Jeff? Yes or no? You understand?
We're getting paid more than you are, so we can sit here for a long time, man.
I just need you to answer me yes or no. Do you understand your rights? Let's get through that question. Do you understand what I read to you? Did you comprehend what I read to you? Jeff, I'm just here to talk to you and figure out what happened and move you on out of here, at least some of it. So do you understand the rights I read to you?
If you got something that says you didn't do this robbery, this is your chance to talk to us.
Okay, good cop.
No, usually I'm the prick.
You look like the prick.
I am.
Jeff, do you understand your rights? Yes or no? I'm not asking if you want to talk to me at this point. I just want to know, do you understand what I read to you?
That's all my under arrest.
Yes, you're under arrest.
Get me back to the cell. I don't talk to you motherfuckers.
Okay, fair enough. Change your mind? You want to talk to us?
Yeah.
He understood that the police had no evidence against him, otherwise they wouldn't be questioning him. So he remained silent and was taken back to his cell. However, 2 hours later, he was brought back to the same room for a second round of questioning.
You want a Coke? You gonna be able to pop it open, or you need me to?
I need methadone.
You need methadone?
Yeah, you guys can get me that methadone.
I don't have any. Do you have a medication for it, or a prescription for it? Or?
No.
What do you need methadone for?
Because I'm a fucking junkie, and you guys, and I can't get no methadone. I'm gonna go through withdrawal here in a minute.
Where do you usually get your methadone from?
I don't get it. I get heroin.
How long you been using heroin?
Long time, buddy.
10 years? 15 years?
I hardly been alive that long. What are you trying to talk to me about here?
Talk to you about what happened last night. Look, here's the deal. Either you're in a bad set of circumstances, or you went and committed an armed robbery last night.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm in a shitty, wrong place at the wrong time, obviously. I didn't commit no fucking armed robbery.
All right, then let's talk about this. Let's
I
not
don't have
keep
nothing.
up
I
the
don't
act.
talk to the police, man.
I think it's in your best interest to. Man.
How? I don't talk to
you're
the
sitting
police.
here. Okay.
I've been through the system, buddy. I know how
I know
it
you
works.
have. I know you have.
You're
Jeff.
not my friend.
I'm not your friend.
You're trying to fucking get me. Or you're
No,
trying
I'm not trying to get
all
you.
you're trying to get is some fucking stupid ass fucking confession, and you're not gonna get one.
Jeff, I'm not going to get a
'Cause-
confession out of you for nothing.
Exactly, because I
And
didn't
I'm
do
not trying
nothing.
to get a confession out of you.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, I didn't commit no armed robbery, and y'all ain't got no fucking evidence saying I did. Let me go. All you did is find me sitting in my buddy's house because my fucking buddy's dog's going ape shit. I go outside, there are cops everywhere, and they spotlight me. They say, "Come here." I say, "What's up?" They search me. They ain't
Hang
find
on.
nothing. What's
Let
up?
me read this.
No,
before- Yes.
because I'm not gonna sign it.
You don't have to sign it. But let me read it for you. Okay?
I'm not signing nothing.
You don't have to sign it. Let me read it. You heard it earlier already. You've been through the system. You know it. It ain't going to change a thing. You're still sitting here. Warning as to your rights guaranteed by the Miranda decision of the Supreme Court of the United States.
You already read it to me earlier.
I know we did, but I'm going to read it to you again.
Thanks for the coat.
You're welcome. Before we ask any questions, you must understand what your rights are. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we question you and have him or her with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer and want one, a lawyer will be provided for you. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you will still have the right to stop answering questions at any time. You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer. Do you understand the rights I've explained to you?
Oh,
Huh?
yeah.
Okay. Tell me what happened last night. Plain and simple. Your side of the story.
I'm not talking to you. I'm warning you.
All right. This is what I don't
told you
understand.
I told you
I know,
this was
but
gonna
this is
happen.
what I don't understand, Jeff. You were sitting there talking just like you were ready to sit here and tell me what happened last night, and then all of a sudden I read that to you, and you screw it, I ain't talking to you. I want a lawyer. I don't understand that. What changed just in the...
Because I told you what, I already told you what happened.
You didn't.
How didn't I?
You didn't tell me what happened last night.
How didn't I just tell you what?
But now you've handcuffed me, and I can't talk to you because you've asked for an
I want a
attorney.
lawyer.
So, okay, that's fine. But I will tell you right now, you're still on a hold for a robbery.
I know. I don't know why I need a fucking lawyer because obviously I didn't do nothing. And obviously you guys know I didn't do nothing because I've been arrested for the same bullshit before and you guys don't interview me this much. So, wham bam, thank you for the coke, put me back in the cell.
We
That's
haven't
my home.
interviewed you yet.
That's my home.
All right?
Well, you haven't interviewed me yet.
Yeah.
I'm not being interviewed. I'm a lawyer.
That's what I'm saying. We haven't interviewed you yet. Hang on. Wait right there.
During the conversation, he mentioned that he was likely experiencing withdrawal symptoms. Methadone, the drug he requested at the beginning of the conversation, can help reduce these withdrawal effects and cravings. Jeff may have been experiencing these symptoms for the entire time he was in police custody.
I have enough evidence
What?
of the armed robbery, okay? But, you know, if you're saying you didn't do it, you need to give me your side of the story.
I didn't do it.
Okay, well, give me your side of the story. You got, I mean, convince me. Because I got a lot of evidence. I got a lot of physical evidence.
Well, like what? Name the
Well, I don't need to, why should I tell you that? I mean, you haven't been helpful to me at all.
You don't, because I don't believe that you got any evidence. Because I didn't do it, so there's no.
Well, here's I'll give you one piece of my evidence, okay?
Yeah.
One piece. The phone for 7-Eleven was taken by the suspect, whoever that was, okay? It was taken by the suspect and was thrown in the dumpster behind 7-Eleven, okay? We got DNA off that phone. Right? That's one piece of my evidence. I have a lot of other evidence, okay?
Like what?
There's only a couple pieces of evidence I'm missing.
Name them.
What's that?
Name
Well, why do I need to do that?
them.
You haven't helped me out a lot. You give me a little bit, I give you a little bit. We go back and forth. I give you one of my pieces of evidence, now give me a little something. All right? What time do you get over to Aaron's house?
No, anything I say here can and will be used against me.
Sure, but anything you say here, I can also tell your parole officer that you helped me out.
That doesn't mean dick.
Sure it does.
Well, you're arresting me for robbery tomorrow, so what the fuck does that do?
You help me out, I can help you out in certain
You
ways.
can't tell me that you can help me out. Because all you said is that you're charging me with some bogus ass armed robbery bullshit.
Okay.
And I don't believe. There's no way. I didn't do it. There's no way.
How drunk were you? Were you drunk?
No, I was pretty sober.
So you're in your right mind. You remember everything about the night, right? So you couldn't have done something not remembered. You couldn't have gone and robbed the place and not remembered?
Fuck, no.
Okay, so you would remember if you robbed the place. Okay. What
Is
about
this all being recorded, huh? And written down?
I'm not writing anything down right now.
But they are. Right?
I don't think there's anybody watching it. The guy that brought me the cokes writing reports. You asked me to bring you up here. I was done talking to you. If you want, why don't we just talk about the gun? Let's start there. Okay.
I don't fucking have a gun or own a gun.
Okay. I don't think you do. I know you don't own one. Okay. But I need to know where that gun came from.
I don't have. What the fuck are you talking about?
The gun you were sitting on.
I was sitting on.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Over at Aaron's house.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because Aaron says it wasn't his.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like I said, you give me a little, I'll give you a little. All right? I got a lot more I can tell you about the whole thing. But you got to help me out, too.
what you're talking about.
Because I'm willing to go to the prosecutor, I'm willing to go to the parole officer and say, this guy's a good guy, he helped me out.
Hey, you know what?
I've been doing this a long time, man.
I haven't.
I've been doing this a long time.
Me too.
I know. I remember back in 2002, I was on the case. I worked that case as a patrol officer. Okay, I've been doing this a long time. I know you don't want to go back to jail, right? Back to prison.
Well, fuck. It looks like I am. If and you're gonna charge me with some bogus shit. You guys don't. I mean, what do you got really? That I was at a buddy's house and I happened to come outside because you guys were fucking swarming the area and they
Which
fucking.
door did you come out of?
I came out of the front door. You know what? I'm not saying myself, man. Fucking dog going crazy. You know what? I'm done.
You sit down for me?
Huh?
You sit down for me? Thanks.
I'm done, man. Fuck this. I'm not even answering. All this shit that I just said is gonna be fucking written in the discovery now, right?
What? You haven't said nothing.
I mean, every little stupid thing that you've asked me, dude, is gonna be in the discovery.
I'm not even going to do discovery.
The prosecutor is.
Okay. So, you halfway know the system, how things work, we halfway don't. Am I right?
I half-ass know
Yeah.
that the only reason I came up here is to get a fucking Coke.
Okay.
And I got it. But now I want a Butterfinger.
But that's not going to happen for a while.
What, the Butterfinger?
Yeah.
Why not? I need to go to the hospital. I'm coughing up blood.
Okay.
Let's go to the hospital.
I'll let the jailer know you go to the hospital. You still me back here, you know that, right?
Where?
Here in the jail, as soon as you get out of the hospital.
Well,
You're not getting out.
I know. I can't finish it.
You can finish it. Make it quick. I got things to do.
That Butterfinger, you promise.
I didn't promise you that. I said we'd see what happens. Alright? Like I said, you haven't helped me out at all. Why should I help you out? I got you a soda. That's good enough.
Over the past few hours, the police have been questioning a man who is clearly in pain. They've been denying him access to legal prescription drugs that could help him cope with his problems. They've been repeatedly questioning him about a crime for which they have no evidence. During all this, Jeff handled the situation as casually as possible, asking for sodas and chocolate bars. Jeff knew that saying the wrong thing could lead to trouble, so he asserted his rights perfectly. 12 hours later, it's documented that he was released from custody and allowed to go on his way. It's also reported that from this point onward, Jeff began to turn his life around. He stopped using heroin and now spends his time uploading videos to the same YouTube channel where the footage from this video was uploaded. He makes music and even shares tips on how to avoid tricks from the police. But the next suspect didn't even let the detectives control the interrogation. Number 3. Killer in a small town. Zachary Scott Borton, who lives in Grand Rapids, is in a very serious situation. He is accused of 3 murders that have shocked the quiet town. The victims are Delmar Eugene Fraley, 80, Edward John Kanzler, 70, and Michael George Powley, 70. They tragically died from gunshot wounds, and their bodies were found early on a sad Sunday morning. This has deeply affected the close-knit community living on Fishville Road in Grass Lake Township. Borton has a troubling history that makes this case even more puzzling. He is a registered sex offender and has been to prison for various crimes like stealing cars and robbing people. His past shows that he has had a difficult life, and he has been associated with a gang in prison, according to Jackson County Sheriff Gary Schutte. However, we don't know for sure how deeply he was involved with the gang, as investigators are trying to figure out his connections and if they had anything to do with these terrible shootings.
Zachary.
Yeah.
Hi, Zach. I'm Brian. Nice to meet you. You guys need something, just let us know, okay?
I'm a detective from Jackson County. So I just want to talk to you a little bit just to get your side of the story. I'll always know there's two sides of every story.
Detective Brian walked into the interrogation room looking sure of himself. He said hello to Borton in a friendly way and mentioned that in every situation, there are different perspectives to consider. They didn't wait long to start the questioning.
Zach, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to a lawyer, and have him present with you before or during any questioning. If you want a lawyer but cannot afford one will be appointed to represent you at public expense. If you waive your right to remain silent and later wish to stop answering questions, the questions will stop. If you waive your right to have a lawyer present and later change your mind, the questioning will stop until you have talked with your lawyer. Do you understand your rights?
I understand.
Given these rights in mind, are you agreeing with talking with me today?
Yeah, as long as I get to see my wife. I mean, I'm not going to talk.
I'll do it as long as Grand Rapids cooperates with that. I have no issue.
All right, I'm not going to talk until I hug her though, because I know how that goes. Like, I mean, she could say, you could say I can try to do whatever I can. You already got statements.
Well, where is she at right now?
She's in Grand Rapids, not too far from you.
Okay.
We talked, so I mean, the detective, or not, I don't know if it was an officer that was sent by the detective, told her that they can make sure that we can hug and we can say bye to each other and stuff.
Can you take my word on it if I talk with him?
No, I'm not going to confess to nothing until
I understand that. Will you take my word that I'll get you a hug and get you to talk to her if I can get them to agree to it? I don't know that I can get her right this second year.
Well, I'm just saying I'm not going to, I mean, how does that work? I mean, you can say anything, I mean, but, you know what I mean? It's not, that's like we're at a standoff because like I can say anything and then it's like, oh, well, I tried. Or they said they were going to, but this, you know what I mean? So that's the only thing that's important to me is I know my life's over.
Okay.
So I want to hug my wife goodbye. I want to give her a kiss. I want to talk to her for a minute. And they already said I could do that. Okay. That was one of the reasons I came in cooperatively. Okay. So, I mean, I just want that. And once that's fulfilled, so I know I'm not being bullshitted because that's already been told to me. My wife's not going to lie. Okay. They said that I can hug you and see you with that.
I totally 100% believe that, and I totally will tell you that I would let you do that.
Well, I mean, I believe you would. I'm just saying, I don't think much.
Let me see if I can get that arranged.
All right, thank you.
If we look at Borton's past crimes, it's pretty troubling. In 1994, he got in trouble in Jackson County for stealing cars, robbing people with a weapon, and having illegal guns. Even before these serious crimes, he got in trouble in North Carolina for trying to break into cars 3 times, which hinted at his future criminal behavior. Later in Hillsdale County, he was convicted for more crimes, including robbery without a weapon, fraud, and a very concerning charge involving inappropriate behavior with a young person aged 13 to 15, which put him on the list of sex offenders.
They're on their way.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything to lie to you, right? I mean, they literally just left, and so I just texted them. When they get there, they're gonna see if she's willing to come here.
All right.
Okay, that's where that's at.
Absolutely.
In the meantime, can we talk?
I mean, I'll answer a few questions that you guys know I'm not bullshitting, but I'm not gonna get a confession or tell you guys everything.
That's fine.
And as soon as she gets here, as soon as they get him, she gets here, he'll bring her in. Even if we're right, no matter where we're at the questioning. Or
well, I'm not gonna answer some of these questions. Until you know what I mean? I have nothing. You guys gotta realize this, and I'm just being 100. That's all I am. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not gonna bullshit you guys.
Sure.
I keep it shoot. I'm a straight shooter. You guys can make my life hell. You can't. Whatever. It doesn't do nothing to me right now. My life's over. You understand?
Why do you feel your life's over?
Listen, I'm not answering that question. Okay.
Okay.
I know my life's over with. So all I'm saying is there's one thing I want because I'm gonna be able to touch my wife again is to give my wife a hug and talk to her. That's all. That's the only thing that's grounded me for this whole little process I've been going through. And then I had no problem going back until a year from now and telling you every little thing I've done and didn't do. It doesn't matter. One charge or a million charges, I'm over.
What's up?
It seems like they're still working on it. Go ahead.
Whether you guys charge me with one charge and I'm found guilty of it, or I get found guilty of 50 charges, it's the same amount of time, it's the same amount of time for me. So it makes me no difference. As to stealing a candy bar from Myers or to killing something, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do the same amount of time in prison. See what I'm saying? So that's all I wanted you guys to realize.
Got a text, like I told you, it says, We'll see if she wants to come in. They're on their way there now.
Okay.
So, only thing Brian was thinking, and then we were thinking is, we doesn't do, we're going to send somebody there. They're already on their way. As soon as they get there, we'll have an answer. If she says no, what do you want me to do?
She's not going to say no.
Okay.
But if she does, then I guess she needs to tell me that I can call her.
Well, we can do it over the phone.
We can do it over the phone.
You can't hug her over the phone, but if
That's right. That's the only thing that's important. You guys understand, I'm going through a thing, and my wife and I have been separated for like 9-10 months now. Mm-hmm. And we're on that verge of like probably divorce, probably going to get divorced after this. And like, we haven't been on good terms. We finally start talking and stuff. And that's the only thing that's important to me. I don't care if I can confess to nothing. Pull a lawyer up and I can just go through it like that. I have no problem with that either. I'm just saying, if I can benefit out of it, because to me it's one and the same. Whether I get found guilty of fucking stealing a candy bar at Myers 10 years ago or whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do the same amount of time. I've got like 15 fucking felonies. So I'm definitely, whatever I get found guilty, it doesn't matter to me if it's a murder charge or if it's a gun charge or if it's a shooting in my wife's house charge. I mean, any of that stuff. It doesn't matter to me. I don't have a problem confessing all of it because to me it's just going to get it over with faster anyway. But at the same time, I got one thing. That's my wife. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get to hug her goodbye. I didn't get to kiss her goodbye yesterday, today. That's all I want to do. And make sure we're going to be all right. And that's it. And I don't care about any of the other stuff. All the other stuff's irrelevant. You know what I mean? After that, it's like, whatever. You know what I mean?
As soon as the questioning started, Borton got really upset, especially when they started talking about his wife. He firmly said he wouldn't admit to anything and knew there would be consequences. Even though they tried to chat with him casually, Borton stayed stubborn and didn't want to cooperate right from the beginning. In response, the detective tried a different approach to deal with the situation.
Sandra, hi, Papas. Hi, Papas. I can't play it. Daddy have kisses? Oh, that's a good kiss. You playing your game?
Aww.
Is that a good hope?
Is you okay?
Hi, Papas. Aww.
Yeah, Daddy.
Daddy. Good daddy kisses? Thank you. Getting so big.
Yeah.
Loving our mommy. Mm-hmm. Loving our mommy. Can Daddy get a little love? Can Daddy get a little love? Get big. Oh. Daddy loves you. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Hello. I love you, silly guy.
Alright, guys, I hate to break it up, but we gotta do it.
Alright. Thank you, guys.
You wanna?
Go ahead.
Bye, Papas. Bye. Bye, Papas.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
He's a cute little dude.
The detective did something surprising by bringing Borton's wife and child into the room. When they left, you could see from Borton's face that he realized how serious things were. Until now, Borton hadn't been cooperating, but this unexpected change might make him do things differently. Sometimes you don't need to manipulate people to make them confess. The detective knew that the most important part of the interrogation was about to happen because he understood that Borton was a person with feelings.
Thank you.
25 years and never done anything like that. All right. We're men of our words, so I wish I could make it happen longer, but unfortunately we can't.
That's all I ask for. Thank you very much. Very appreciative.
He didn't want to kill two birds with one stone, so if you could send a detective in on your incident, or you guys all set?
I'll have him step in. Okay. We're just gonna escort her out, make sure she gets back to her truck safely and things like that, and then he'll pop back in here, okay? I don't know if she knows where she's at or where she's going down here, but we want to make sure that she gets in her truck and on her way, so he'll be right back.
All right, thank you.
I think your guy talked to her already, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You want to get started on our?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Let me just go through this. I know we talked about it once before. Of course, I don't have my reading glasses, so this is a challenge. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you before or during questioning. If you want a lawyer but cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you to represent you at public expense. If you waive your right to remain silent and later wish to stop answering questions, the questions will stop. Just let me know. If you waive your right to have a lawyer present and later change your mind, the questioning will stop until you have talked with that lawyer. Do you understand these rights?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we okay to talk?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me what happened with the on Fishville.
Polak had been like, that's Mike. He had been high. I think he smoked crack or something. I'm not sure. But he was like noised out, and he kept coming in the back bedroom where I was staying, and like waving a pistol around and saying, "Who's in here? Who are you talking to?" I know somebody's in here, and then like the second or third time, I mean, I kind of got insulted because it was more like, if I want to have somebody in there, I'd have somebody in here.
Which bedroom are you talking about?
If you go in the front door, there's a bedroom to back right by the fireplace or whatever. There's a bedroom right there to the right. You know what I'm talking about? And then to the left, there's a like a I guess it'd be a front room, a big ass front room.
It's almost like a family room.
Yep. And then so in the bedroom right there on the right, when you first go in, that's the only other bedroom behind the main floor. And so he kept waving the pistol. He'd come in with the pistol. He wouldn't wave it. Like, then point it at me. Like at one point, I think like the second time he came in or something, he kind of waved it towards me. I was like, don't point a fucking pistol at me or some shit. It's just kind of like a guy's like back and forth.
You know what kind of pistol it was?
Yeah, it was 38.
Okay.
So he comes in there with that, and he's like kind of waving it around.
What was you upset about? Because you had somebody.
Well, he thought I had somebody in the room, but I didn't. And then I found out like the third time. I want to say it was the third time he came. He kept coming in there like, "Who's in here?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" Like maybe 15, 20 minutes. Who's in here? You know, I'd be half asleep. And I'm like, so like the third time or something in here, he's like, "I know she's in here." I said, "Who the fuck are you talking about?" And he said, which is like a girl that comes there every once in a while. That's she's messing with another biker or whatever, But he's kind of like her. He's kind of like infatuated with her, like kind of like want to look after. I don't know, like some weird thing. I don't know. He wasn't having sex with her, so I don't know, some weird thing.
Orton's sudden change in how he acted was a very important moment in the questioning, showing how strong family bonds can be and how they can affect someone deeply.
Then I once we figured out there was nobody out there, of course. I go back in, I don't know, it'll take me probably not too long to get back to sleep because it was really late at this time. And I hear like two distinct gunshots downstairs. But that was after I heard a bang. I think that's what woke me up, like a, I don't know, like a bang, it wasn't a gunshot, but it was like a crash. And then I hear gunshots. I want to say 2 to 3. I want to say 2, then the third, like it was like 2 and then 3. And by that time I already had a gun. I kept a 40 cal. And I jumped out of bed with the 40 cal and cocked it. Like door entrance. And he had a 38 in his hand, and he said, "Motherfucker, I'm gonna kill you." And I thought he was talking about me. So I shot him twice or 3 times maybe.
He was coming in the door. You shot. So
he was coming in the front door. And then he was yelling like something like "motherfucker," up to you. Like he was agitated for sure, and he had the pistol like drawn up. And so I shot him, and then
so 3 times.
I'm not sure. It happened kind of fast and in slow motion, like at the same time. Like it was all like kind of a blur. So I shot him, and then like after I shot. It was a gun, but it wasn't. After I looked closer, I just know it wasn't a gun. He was coming out of the back, and so I turned towards him and shot him, or at him rather. I don't know if I hit him the first time because he turned, and when he turned to like kind of get away, I kind of ran back towards him, and then I don't know if he was trying to raise the gun or what he was trying to do, but I shot him again. That was the one that was in the doorway, and then but it was kind of like far. I don't know, I'm trying to make it make sense. And it all happened like a blur, like so fast. And then I remember shooting was in his hand or whatever, and then recognizing that it wasn't a gun, and then like panicking, like looking around and being like, you know, what the fuck? Oh my god, what the fuck? Now all my clothes and all that stuff were in the back room, but I didn't like. I was just thinking like I was gonna panic, like what the fuck? So I went to run downstairs to see what the what the gunshots or whatever was downstairs, and that kind of fucked me up. And so I was like fucked up behind that. I ran and I ran back upstairs, up, like kind of like panicking, like I don't know, and I went upstairs. She wasn't there, which kind of baffled me. And I didn't have no cover.
Who was this friend you said?
Yeah, that's the one who lives there with me.
Yeah.
And I didn't have no ride or nothing, so I went back down, /keys or whatever off the table, and took his truck and just like drove away. And then after I got a little ways away or whatever, I called my wife and just told her that it was just trying to talk to her and stuff. And I didn't tell her what I did. I just told her I did something bad and that I didn't know what to do and that he already shot somebody. He was gonna shoot at me, or he shot at me, or something like that. And I, like, front door. I'm not. I mean, like I said, I wasn't there. I wasn't sure. I just know I heard a bang, but it wasn't a gun bang.
Okay.
And then I heard, so I mean, for sure two, like at least two. I want to say two and then a third, like a two and then a pause and then a third gunshot.
Do you think he knew what he was doing, or do you think he was like wigging out and thought it was someone who broke in?
Well, he'd been wigging out the whole. You know what I'm saying? He'd been wigging out like the whole night. He'd been like.
So you think he didn't know?
Blur, like I
Sure.
didn't think. That's when I first heard the noise, what's going on, and then I just kind of like, I seen that he was like on the steps to go down to his house, so I left right. I mean, I went right back upstairs because the side door is right there, like where they push you out to the driveway. I left the door. I went out to go check on him, and I seen like almost immediately, you know what I mean? Like I seen that he was on the steps, so I ran back upstairs to see.
So was he all the way up the top of the steps, or was he like halfway up?
I want to say like mid-step.
Okay.
I don't think he was all.
Was he conscious, or?
No, he wasn't conscious. Like he had like his face was opened up and stuff. You can tell he got like shot, like close, like I don't know.
Borton tried to explain that he acted in self-defense. He said he woke up because he heard gunshots coming from his roommates, but he also admitted that in the chaos he might have confused a pipe for a gun. However, the police didn't find any weapons or pipes near the bodies of the people who died. Borton's story sounded confusing and hard to believe, especially since this all happened in a place where drugs were involved. As the investigation continued, the unclear details about his self-defense claim made it even harder to trust what he was saying.
Did you pass any police officers like in the area? Were we getting in the area, or did we get there quite well?
I took right off. I panicked and just took. I was trying to get out of there.
Did you go north out of there, or?
I went when you turn off the driveway, you go right.
Okay.
So you go down that way, and I remember taking a left, and I honestly couldn't tell you what direction I drove after that because I was just like befuddled. I was fucked up. I waited for a little while, then I called my wife, and she kind of grounded me a little bit.
When you got to Grand Rapids, were at 9 o'clock or so, where did you go?
Try to go to his mom's house, and she wasn't home. And I tried to go to one of our mutual friends' house, and he wasn't home.
It was Sunday, for God's sake. Where was everybody at? Church?
I was thinking the same thing. It was early too. It was 10, probably 10, because I sat there and talked to my wife for like an hour in the parking lot. Mm-hmm. Then this is after I went to Kent. Home, and then was that after or before? No, it was before.
So then, when you went all those three places, nobody's home. Where did you end up?
Right where you guys found me at on 2nd Street.
Okay.
I mean 3rd Third Street. No. I went to a car park first off Post Drive. Parked there, but there's a lot of traffic coming in and out. So, I didn't want to stay there. So I ended up going to.
Did you tell him what happened?
No. I just told him I needed to chill for a while. I needed to just get some sleep or somewhere peaceful. And he was like, "What's up?" And I told him I didn't want to talk about it. And he said, "Okay."
And did you tell your wife what you did?
No.
Okay. Just what'd you tell her?
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't want to get her in any trouble.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, it came to do with her.
The detective let Borton decide how the questioning would go. He understood that keeping Borton willing to talk was important, so he decided to let him have more control in the hope of getting more useful information without making Borton shut down completely.
He seems like a pretty decent dude. He happened to be, they were all hanging out at like the place north of there, right next door. He's part of.
Oh, talking about the house north of there.
Yeah.
Talking about old girl's mom, dad's house.
Yeah. He's part of it. He's in their club too, or
Talking about.
It was just north of there.
Oh.
He's not part of the club. Oh, okay. He led me to believe he was.
No, he's not.
Is he full of shit?
Yeah.
He claims he. Like, well, why haven't you told us? Oh, it was so dark I couldn't see who did it.
Right.
Okay. He was kind of full of himself. Him a little bit. He seemed pretty down to earth guy. Is that a pretty decent club? I mean, motorcycle clubs you hear are kind of rough, but those guys all seem pretty decent.
I mean, besides just having drug habits, that's about it. They didn't really cause no problems or having any like real beat. I mean, there's people coming out there, but it's mostly because the girls they protected, not them. You know what I mean? It's like girls that have problems with guys, they come out there and they make sure the guys stay away from them or whatever.
So we did recover some rounds in each one of the individuals. We found some casings. A 38 is probably not going to eject a casing. It's typically a revolver. I'm assuming that was a revolver. So we'll be able to match up. And so especially now that we do have, they did recover a couple of guns over to your buddy's. It's both the guns that you had there. You said they were behind a
blue futon
both of them. Yeah, that's where they found at least the 40, and I'm assuming they said they found 2 guns.
They were wrapped up together. So.
Okay. So anything else you can add, or anything you want to add?
I mean, not that I can think of right now. It's still blurring in my mind now. I'm just trying to replay that shit. It's just
I bet. And pretty much everything you told me appears to be pretty accurate. Obviously, we were in the belief, and I don't know that we're not in the belief. The ballistics will tell us that.
Oh, absolutely.
They'll tell us if your gun wasn't used, then I got to think that.
Right.
Because I would think that you probably had the 40. I don't know why you would have. I mean, I guess it's possible you could have used both guns, but it would be unusual.
Right.
Can you agree with that? How many times do you think you shot all together?
I mean, I know I emptied the clip.
Okay. Did you reload?
No.
Okay. Did you have additional magazines?
No, I think I had the one bullet that's left in there. That was for me, and then that was it.
Okay. So your thought was you were going to at some point use that on you, that last bullet? Yeah. Well, I'm glad
you're mostly just to shoot in the air and have you guys shoot me. I'm trying to kill myself before I have enough guts to do it.
Yeah. Well, for your son's sake and your wife's sake, more importantly your son's sake, I'm glad you didn't do that.
Yeah, I know.
Because your son will be able to see you. He'll be able to come at some point. I don't know how prison works, but obviously you do. But I would think at some point he's going to be able to come visit you.
Oh, yeah.
Do they let him when they're young?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, for his sake, he's not going to know any different initially.
Yeah.
Anything I can help you with? Because like I said, I do appreciate your honesty, your cooperation. You could have made this difficult for me, and you didn't, and I appreciate that.
There's going to be things you probably need as far as like little details or little questions you have. And I'm fine with all that. I already know there's no snitching, nothing. I'm not snitching on nobody myself.
No, you're right. There's probably going to be one or two things I didn't think to ask today. And you're cool with me coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Like I said, as long as like you guys have held up your end, like with bringing my wife in here and doing what you said, and he went and orders the pizza and all that. So I'm just a man of my word. If it's upheld on both ends, and how our relationship right now is how it'll always be unless you change it. Sure. That's just true. Yeah. I won't ever change it because I have no reason to.
I have no reason to change it either.
And so that's just, it's just. But yeah, I know you're gonna have more questions.
Let me get with my partner here real quick and see if he had any questions.
Following the interrogation, Judge McBain sentenced Borton to 2 life sentences without no possibility of parole. If you want to watch more interrogations, make sure you hit the subscribe button.